Hello everyone, I just want to say before I start this video that my recorder broke, well my voice recorder broke, so now I have to re-talk this or something like that. I'm Premium Doctor. Today I'm investigating the Burnt family and I'm okay. So right now I'm looking at the graves. So on the graves there was Dan Burnt, who sadly passed. He was Siegel's friend, which is one of the other investigators. There's the Queen of Doctors and the King of Doctors. The King of Doctors killed the Queen of Doctors, sadly, and Dr. Wendigo, or Dr. Ruby, sadly died from unknown reason. So now that we continue, listen, the video isn't really linked up to my voice because, the recorder doesn't really work that well. But, so what we think the lore is how Dr. Burnt has a family, and the family has a grandfather. He was one of the most important roles. He is just acts like very weird, and in Siegel's videos, he just was so just evil, and I'm not very sure how to really describe the grandfather, Wally. So Wally almost killed Dan. He survived that one, but he didn't survive the next thing that happened. Wally was defeated by a mastermind that controls it all. His name is Norman. Norman is kind of suspicious and weird, because the case of Norman is that we don't know much about him, mostly because of his, how weird he is and all this stuff. I'm not very sure how to really describe Norman, but he used to own a shop, the puppet shop, Norman's Puppet Shop. It's a thing in the game. If you go to the basement, you can find it. I'm going to get to that later in the video, mostly because I'm saying it right now. So if you could see here, there's a bunch of photos of the Burnt family. So there's Liliana Burnt, Little Sweater Boy, Dr. Burnt, Dan Burnt, which is replaced by that toy. We think he might be trapped inside the toy. The Queen of Doctors, King of Doctors, Dr. Ruby / Wendigo. Some adopted cousin they have. I can't pronounce the name. Mark Burnt. Christian Burnt. Christian Burnt has the bunny mask. Pastel Wendigos. Yeah, he's the one with the glasses. We also have the two Kylie twins. Kylie Burnt twins. They're both named Kylie for some reason. And Maddie Burnt. Maddie Burnt is the child of Liliana Burnt and another character, Wobbles the Clown. Wobbles the Clown is an old friend of Dr. Burnt. Dr. Burnt doesn't really like Wobbles because, Dr. Burnt lost a cousin, Dan Burnt, and a lot of his family. So he doesn't want to lose Liliana by, him bringing them away from... He just sees Wobbles as a bad guy. So the story takes place in 1978, the main story. So a lot of myth hunters have a reference in the game. Like Caden's Late Night Talk Show, it's on there. He did some investigation with it. So, there's a note. We're talking about how they used to have an old home. Yeah. Alright, so now that we got that done, we are going to talk more about everything else. So, if you look around, there's a grandfather clock, all that stuff. We're not very sure on what every part of the lore is. It's a big lore, and a lot of myths are a part of it, like Copley Cup, which is another myth, Gold Told Gold, and a bunch of other myths. There's a lot. So, my friend, C. McFox, who kind of did an investigation on Dr. Burnt. He didn't film it, but since he did the investigation, he has a photo that's Galaxy. He is working on a game that I'm actually helping him with, and so is Dr. Burnt. So they put a Galaxy Coming Soon poster there, so that's cool. There's Crimson Parish, which is a character in the lore who sells houses. So yeah, that's just a little bit of lore. So there's Little Sweater Boys drawing, a little reference to Seagull. There's saxophone notes, and there's a note by, or like a drawing by Maddie Burnt, and it's her and Seagull. So they're like friends. Maddie Burnt's other best friend, her other best friend is Norman Burnt. Well, not Norman Burnt, Norman Ashes, who owns a puppet shop. I'm pretty sure I said this earlier. So yeah, they also have an uncle named, I'm not very sure, but he's the father of Mark Burnt to be his puppet shop. He adds a lot of myth characters here, myth hunters here. This is me, that's Dr. Cards, another investigator. Olivia Abaco, which is another investigator. Some weird things, some mannequins, some gears. This is Wobbles the Clown as a puppet, and this is Sieg Siegel as a puppet. There's a claw machine. This is another myth hunter, Bloxes. He helps with the Caden's Late Night Talk Show. This is Dan Burnt. This is the guy who had his photo replaced with a toy. This is his puppet form. I don't know why his face is all black. Maybe because he passed away. Norman's Puppet Shop. So apparently it's like an ad of it. We think this might be ink. Although it's not 100% confirmed. Yes, they say that it might be ink. Doesn't mean it actually is. This is Christian Burnt's stuff. You can tell by the sword and the flower. So here is his note. Listen, I don't have much time. Listen, while he was defeated, I know it was just stay away from him. It was Norman, so Norman has some sort of relationship to the Burnt family. I'm not sure how, but yeah. It was obviously written in a rush, mostly because of how it's a little bit smeared, and how a lot of things were spelt wrong. So this is it for our investigation. Oh wait, also one last thing. There's a photo over here where if you touch it, you get a badge called An Only Hope. I will show you. So I am assuming that this note or this badge represents how maybe Damien Burnt, which is the guy in the photo, might have something to do with it. Because I talked to Damien, and apparently he can speak to ghosts in the lore. So yeah, I don't know why. So these are the badges. Welcome to the island. More tea, please, which is a Shining reference, I think. I don't know why it says impossible. The Only Hope, which is the thing I found. You found the basement. How did you... What is that toy is in there? Basically, some odd stuff are happening. So, you should join my myth group, which is Roblox's myth investigation group, where we try to find out what is up with all of these myths. Right now, I sent a bunch of investigators to investigate Cupley Cup's Forest. He is another myth that has to do with the Dr. Burnt. Not a lot, maybe. I'm not very sure. This is Dr. Burnt's group. I'm an assistant head doctor in it. And if you look, there's a puppeteer rank. Now, in this puppeteer rank, you can see... Hold up, I'm going to have to cut... because this might be separated into a few. Alright, everyone, I am back. Sorry, this might be cut into 3 different parts, depending on what is really happening. So, this is Norman Ashes, the puppeteer of it all. Not much is known about it. I think he's trying to do something with Maddie, maybe like trick her in some sort of way. We have some other myth groups. Gold Told Gold is another myth. He hasn't been active lately. He has a group. We have Sieg Siegel has his own group called Mordeo Myth, based off of Crypt TV's Mordeo, which is a separate thing. I'm not very sure if it's an actual myth. Maybe it's just a meme. So Block says he helps out with a lot of the myth investigation. Dr. Templeton, he has something to do with the myth. We're not very sure what he is about, like what he does, but yeah. So that would be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. In the comments, please send your theories on it and maybe some sort of investigation thing. Thank you.